Hello nerds! Welcome to Out of the Box Games. I'm Brian, and today we're going to look at a secret layer drop called Phyrexian Faves. There we go. Alright. I believe there's 5 cards in this drop. 6 counting the bonus card. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. And in our Etman's Apple Pie wax paper, we have... Ooh. Very nice. Look at that. Let's see. That says Batter Skull. No, actually, I can't read Phyrexian, so I got my cheat sheet here. Let's see. Blighted Agent. What am I saying? Batter Skull. Living weapon. When this equipment enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 black germ creature token, then attach this to it. So it's kind of like almost the Phyrexian effect, which is like the more current, recent version of this. You cast an equipment, it gets attached to a token right away. I don't really even think there's much difference to it, really. I think Phyrexian is basically the same thing. Let's see, and equipped creature gets +4/4 and has vigilance and lifelink. So that's pretty hefty. Vigilance and lifelink, so you're gaining life in the attack, gaining life in defense. And what is this? Pay 3 generic and return Batter Skull to its owner's hand. And then it has an equip cost of 5. So, I guess the concept here is if the creature that this is attached to dies, you can return it to hand, recast it, and then reattach it to a creature again. Equip cost of 5, not cheap, but it's a pretty hefty equipment. This is a mythic, and the artwork looks the same to me. I don't know if it was restored or anything, but it looks the same as far as I can tell. I mean, it looks maybe a slightly better quality, but it could just be because it's in foiling and not so washed out. I love the Phyrexian treatment. It looks really good. And these are nice and flat, at least for now. So that's nice. Cool. So there's a really great mythic. And that, I think, is the only card from this drop that I had. Yeah, the rest of them, these are actually cards that I needed, so this was a really cool drop. Let's see, so this is, I think it's pronounced Karik, son of Yawgmoth. So it has a, let's see, you can cast it with 4 generic, actually, 4 generic and 3 black, or 2 life. For each of these symbols here. So a total of 4 generic and 6 life, if you don't want to pay the full cost. That's a lot of life to pay, but this does have lifelink, which is unusual for black. For each black in a cost, you may pay 2 life rather than pay that mana. So that's pretty cool. It gives that ability to all your black mana costs. And then whenever you cast a black spell, put a 1/1 counter on Son of Yawgmoth. So basically this thing helps you cast out, could be black creatures, enchantments, artifacts, basically any of your black spells, and ramps up in the process. And also has lifelink, which is nice. So the idea here is we're ramping this creature up. Oops. The idea here with this guy is we're ramping it up and then doing damage for with lifelink. Let's see. And in return, you know, casting out spells, paying life, saving the mana. It's a pretty strong machine, actually. This is a strong card. Looks really cool. I've always loved the artwork on this. He's got these like spines growing out of him. Looks like a very S&M kind of vibe going on, like a 9 Inch Nails kind of thing. Really cool looking card. And then I believe this is the Glistener Elf, actually. This is a 1/1 for 1. says it's a rare. I have a feeling this is probably one of those cards that's actually a common or uncommon, but because it's Secret Lair, it magically becomes a rare. It has Infect, so this creature deals damage to creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters, and to players in the form of poison counters. I'm thinking this is probably the filler card of the bunch. This one can't be all that useful. I don't even think elves really go for infect or poison counters. So, I don't know. But it looks cool. Kind of neat. I don't know if I'd actually use it, but it's neat to have. And then this one is Blighted Agent. Blighted Agent, let's see. It's 1/1 for 1 generic and 1 blue. So another nice low mana cost here. Has Infect. And Blighted Agent is unblockable. So that's kind of cool. So this guy can help ensure that you're getting poison counters on your opponent. So that's actually kind of decent. The art's kind of neat, not bad. A little bit dark, but. And this is the big one. So this is the best card of the whole thing, the best value, and the best playability. This is the Inkmoth Nexus. This is the Inkmoth Nexus, and let's see. So tap to add 1 generic mana to your mana pool. Nothing too fascinating there. It is worth noting, though, that there is no cost to cast this, and it doesn't enter the battlefield tapped, so you can pretty much use it right away. You pay 1 generic, and Nexus becomes a 1/1 Blink Moth artifact creature with flying and infect until end of turn. And then, of course, it's still a land, so it will turn back into a land form at the end of your turn. So it's basically just a land that turns into a very weak creature. But the great thing about this card is that it has Infect and it has flying. So flying and Infect, it gives you a good chance of delivering a poison counter on one of your opponents. So very strong card, pretty straightforward and simple, but in the right deck, very, very critical and crucial to have. And looks amazing. This artwork is great, has really good atmosphere. And I know all these cards look clean. I don't see any print lines or scratches or anything. These all look really good. That's a great hit right there. That's a great inclusion. And the bonus card is another Virulent Sliver. We actually just hit this in the, can't remember which Secret Lair, but one that we just opened recently. This one, I think it's pretty cheap. I still don't know what Poisonous 1 is. It's a 1/1 for 1 green. All Sliver creatures have Poisonous 1. So, same old. Would have been nice to get a better Sliver, but oh well. Anyway, pretty cool Secret Lair. These are, all, like I said, all cards that I happen to need except for Batterskull. So, made sense to get it. Beyond just collectability, they're playable. So I'd say decent value. I don't know exactly what they're going for, but pretty much all these with the exclusion of, say, the Elf, and probably, well, Blighted Nexus should be decent, but great value, great artwork. The Phyrexian language looks really cool. And I don't know if a lot of players realize that you can use these cards legally. I think some people are under the impression that you can't actually use these in like tournaments or anything like that, but they are legal. It is a little bit annoying if you don't know if you're not real familiar with the card. It does take a little bit to get used to. You have to memorize pretty much everything of the card, unless you want to keep looking it up and referring to Google, which could be kind of annoying. So typically, I think when it comes to Phyrexian language, it's nicer when it's not such a complicated card. If it's pretty straightforward, like the Elf, easy to remember, like Nexus, then it doesn't really make a big deal, and it's quite nice to have that treatment. Anyway, I'm really impressed with it. I really like it. I think this is a really solid Secret Lair. I suggest picking it up if you can. Otherwise, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you nerds later. Thank you for watching. Bye.